Hello, welcome back to Access. My name's Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Pip pip.
Dave is being very British because Watch Dogs Legion has been announced and shown. Dave has played it.
I have.
It's set in London.
Yes.
And with all the gameplay which has been out there in the wild now, here are the 5 most British things that we've noticed in the game.
I mean, this is we've had to pick 5 because it's set in London, which you could count as quite a British thing.
I was going to run through a list of locations. I didn't even go through picking these out. I remembered them: Camden Lock, the London Eye, South Bank, Palace of Westminster, the Shard, Tower Bridge, New Scotland Yard, Piccadilly Circus, where I get lost all the time, Battersea Power Station, Chinatown,
Trafalgar Square, Charing Cross.
All of those places.
It's all
they're all
there.
in about a mile squared. So
that's true. Well, that's one of the amazing things about London. But yes, none of the locations. We won't be talking about these.
So we've tried to dig deeper into things which really make us go, Britain.
Yeah. Well, it helps that we are British, Nate. So we were able to hopefully notice traits about ourselves and go, they've nailed that.
Exactly.
And this first one is probably the least interesting, but I found it incredibly exciting.
Okay.
Sorry, 90% of the rest of the world, but you're going to be driving on the left.
It's so weird playing GTA, for example.
Yeah.
Getting used to driving on the right, and then getting in my actual car and finding that I'm not doing that.
If you've played 50 hours of GTA over a weekend, which I have done, even though there's only 48 hours strictly in a weekend, and then you get in a car and drive, you have to take a moment and just think, what am I doing? Is this the game? I'm leaning
out of the wrong window with my Uzi. What am I doing?
No, it's always a telltale sign. But not in Watch Dogs Legion. You're going to be driving on the left, my friend.
It's a small thing, but say you want to be, undercover and covert. I bet there are roundabouts.
Yes, I hope there are roundabouts.
So take that also, the rest of the world.
Do you know what other people call them who don't have roundabouts so much?
Were circly worklies.
Close. Traffic circles.
Okay.
And maybe circly worklies if they're, feeling fun that day.
I'm going to go with my one for number 2.
Okay.
This one is about, I don't know why I'm looking at the same piece of paper with all the locations written down. Is the AI, Bagley.
Yes.
And I obviously he's an AI, obviously he's British. What I really think they've picked up on, though, is a particularly sort of British sense of humour there.
Yes.
Like, there's tons of quite funny AI characters, and indeed, like, Star Wars has been doing them quite recently, I think.
Yes.
But this is really like, what it actually reminded me of is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And that's a bit more deadpan and slightly more, like, obviously there's, like, a big class component to loads of, like, British humour, and Douglas Adams is a bit Oxbridge, and Bagley seems a bit more the common man.
Yes.
But it's definitely in that kind of, like it's an AI with sort of feelings and humour. The conversation that he had, that really, speaking of death, that really made me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something about Ian.
I also enjoyed Rolling Helps, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I really like that as well. So that, Bagley seems British in a good way, in a way that I recognised and reminded me of other British things that I liked.
Well, number 3 is something that's very close to my heart. This is something that I highly identify with.
Is it getting closer?
No, it's something that a trait that I have intensely that I saw in my own playthrough, Nath. So you might not have seen this in the gameplay that they've shown at E3.
Okay.
But it's to apologise when you have been wronged.
Right.
And this happened when I ran someone over who said sorry.
Right. Okay.
And that I recognise as being so British.
Canadians will also be able to identify with this, having been to Canada. That happens a lot there too.
Okay. I mean, I do that all the time. Someone bumps into me, I say sorry.
I know.
Oh, sorry.
And then I think a few steps down the road, you're like, wait
a minute.
I'm not sorry at all.
Yeah, especially if they don't say sorry back.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine to say sorry when I have been wronged, as long as they also say sorry. And it's like, it's like a meaningless exchange then. But if I'm the only one saying sorry, I'm like, wait, did you think I am actually sorry?
Yeah.
I'm not sorry, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be sorry.
We should all say sorry. None of us have to feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you haven't said it, I'm not it now, and I wish I hadn't said it.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Number 4, there's 2 different versions of this, and it makes me think it's going to be like a cast thing, which is going to be in the game. Polite, small old ladies.
Yes.
Who turn out to have hidden violent depths.
Yeah, seemingly polite, I suppose.
Exactly. And so there was one in the trailer and there was one in the longer gameplay demo from the Ubisoft conference. And polite old ladies are just a British staple, and they've been deployed to good effect. Lots of talk on Twitter about people saying, because you're going to be able to recruit, the players anyone mechanic of the game means you're going to be able to recruit whoever you like. Lots of people talking about recruiting an army exclusively of polite old English ladies.
Yeah, it was something that Elle and I were extremely excited about when we played the game, was immediately to get some geriatrics under our belt, so to speak. I mean, and it struck me and Elle that that's not something that I think I've ever seen before. Playing as an old person, can you think of any really old protagonists in games that
Metal Gear Solid 4. Actually, I think we've done this as a
maybe
list
that's
feature.
true, but I mean, Snake, even in Metal Gear Solid 4, he's still pretty active.
Yeah, well,
he's
also
pretty
he's only
mobile.
about 40, isn't he? But
if you're playing as a geriatric in Watch Dogs Legion, you have mobility issues.
I
That's
know,
a fact.
that is good.
It's
a really interesting mechanic.
It's great, and it's really, really fun. And I don't know. I think it's a hugely great thing, and also it just made me think of all those great British old ladies who, I want a Miss Marple character as well. I want an unassuming, sweet old lady who's carrying a gun.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Miss Marple didn't carry a gun as far as I'm aware.
Well, the new version, the reboot that they're doing, she's got...
Maybe a taser.
She's got an Uzi.
Yeah.
Number 5 is yours, right?
Number 5 is mine, which is a difficult one to talk about, but only because on Access... we're a family channel.
We are a family channel.
And we try our best not to swear. But something I think is quite British is our love of particularly creative swearing.
Absolutely.
And Watch Dogs Legion has nailed that. There's a lot of swearing in the game.
Do you know there are several F words in the bit of gameplay demo? And I was watching it again just before we came to record this. And as the character walks just through that little bit of Piccadilly Circus, off... just random characters in every one of them, and I was like, ooh, but then I was like, that is what it's like walking through London.
But I think but more specifically, more creative than.
Well, there's that one particular thing also which we can't say. From the trailer, someone being described as the MMA fighter, right? Someone being described as a proper.
Right, exactly.
And I use that phrase quite a lot. Yes,
and I think also the fact that swearing in Britain, I believe, is often not aggressive or mean. It's just
affable sometimes.
Very and fun and funny, and that's kind of I think they've nailed that.
These are all our words. Why don't we use them?
Exactly.
It's important. I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't know until I saw the conference today, on a completely separate note, that Clint Hocking was the director who's directed a bunch of really, really good games. Hasn't made a game for a very long time.
Oh, really?
It was Far Cry 2. He's original Splinter Cell. He's done a lot of really great games.
That's exciting.
And this is obviously a bit of a departure from the other stuff they've done. The Players Anyone mechanic just makes me think about the idea of kind of resistance and everything, and then really it can be anyone from this population. It's like this sort of strange universal democratic idea put within a place that I know really well, which seems to have translated to the game really spectacularly. I am excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't know what to expect when I played it, and I was absolutely blown away. London looks incredible. Yeah. It feels vibrant and alive, and I love how they've tweaked it to make it slightly more in the future, but without going too far. Playing as anyone is such an intriguing mechanic, and is so much more than just skins. They've not just... You're not picking just a different bunch of skins. They're all characters with their own traits, their own lives, their own schedules, and stories to discover. And I think those two things alone make Watch Dogs Legion particularly exciting. But then also it was just so much fun.
Britishness. I think they got the tone really right. Let us know. I really genuinely want to know what little... There's quite a lot, like the football fan, like we said, the locations. Let us know in the comments. Yes, the pub. What little touches you were like, oh, yeah, that's home. Good. Yeah. Britain. Bit of Britain. Do like this video if you enjoyed it. Let us know if you're excited about Watch Dogs Legion. Stay tuned to Access. We've got loads more coming up.
For the players.